Hello, good evening. Am I being shown as live right now? I know Rumble has a problem with that. Rumble has a problem with me being shown as live. If I am not being shown as live right now, please tell me so I can restart the stream. Because that, unless there's just, gonna be 4 people here. I understand. I get it. It's a shit show, and it's just a pile of shit, Everything's just a fucking pile of shit. Right? Do you guys agree? Do you understand? I hope so. So if I'm coming... Okay, so Knobs Dog says live. Okay, good. Because sometimes, that's not what I get. I don't get it. I don't get the fucking live, I don't get the fucking live. How's it going? Sorry for missing Monday. I was sick. I'm still trying to get over it, but it is what it is. I'm getting yelled at by my wife for nonsense and just a bunch of bullshit, So I'm here, and I'm doing it. We're doing male loneliness. We're doing a male loneliness epidemic. We're doing a thing how men are struggling and women are most affected. Surprise. Fucking surprise. Right? Surprise. Surprise. Hold on. Anyways, yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. I have to ease into it, okay? That's just, stress is stress. Just get Bahama John his drink. No, I don't have any drinks. I get no respite, right? It's nothing like that. I just have to fucking do my shit all day long and just do my shit and just do my shit, right? I don't get breaks. No, I just have to keep doing shit, right? They get yelled at for it. It's fucking bullshit. Anyways, thanks for coming. Yep, a lot of men are lonely, and women are most affected. Because it's never their fault, right? It's never ever been a woman's fault. Not in the history of time has it ever been a woman's fault doing anything. And it's amazing how they can dodge accountability like this, and we're just gonna dive right into it. All right, so we're gonna do a shoe on head video. I've never done a shoe on head video, but that's what we're doing tonight. So please get comfy and welcome and do the things. Yes, we're gonna hop in. We're gonna do the things, right? So get comfy and get cozy and it is so fucking hot in here. It is so fucking hot in here. God damn it, it's been so fucking hot. It's constantly so fucking, it's a goddamn heat wave. Can't keep it cool enough. I just can't. I'm just gonna fucking sit here and sweat. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna fucking sit here and sweat. That's what I'm gonna do. But it doesn't matter. I got my drink. It's fine. It's fine. So again, get comfy, get cozy, get a nice bottle of whatever you have, maybe some absinthe or some fucking, I don't know. Drink motor oil for all I give a shit. All right, we're jumping into it. We're getting, and yeah, maybe I am angry. Sometimes I get angry, especially when I get fucking bitched at for nonsense, for absolutely nothing, for just a fucking emotional fucking wave of garbage. That's what I have to fucking deal with. Just a bunch of bullshit. It's fucking nonsense. It's constantly goddamn nonsense. Anyways, if you're working, thanks for having me. If you're driving, please drive safely. That has not changed. Wear your seatbelt, buckle up, don't drink and drive. These are all important things. Anyways, what is today? Tuesday? It's a Tuesday. Yeah. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. This is called the Male Loser Epidemic. Enjoy.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit.
There we go.
Hopefully nothing too crazy
Shoe
happens.
on head.
I feel like
she's been doing this for a long ass time, and she's 2.2 million followers. I don't watch her stuff. But I know she goes in that manosphere kind of stuff, and she's like very right wing for, You know, she's a good-looking girl. Don't get me wrong or anything like that, but that makes me think she has terrible takes. But we'll see. We'll see.
Like every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way. Welcome back to the She One Head channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am She One Head, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues, mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of
She looked better when she was 24, but that's not shocking, right? It's been 10 years. But I don't know. She kind of looks a little mousier. Maybe she looks better now. I'm not sure.
BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter,
yes, I'm blocking Jess.
calloused 34-year-old
I am.
talking about very real and growing men's
I'm not
issues.
dealing with
One
it
of
right
the
now.
main
I'm just not fucking dealing with it. Okay, I'm not fucking dealing with it. All right, that's all it is.
men's
all right.
issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser.
Did she seriously shack up with the Armored Skeptic? I know who that guy is. I know the Armored Skeptic. Really him. I've never seen his face or anything like that, but I've watched a couple of his videos. But I'm surprised.
Epidemic
I'm surprised
has gotten
about that.
so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like
She has vamp teeth? I don't. Does she have vamp teeth?
politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's and just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right wing.
I like how she does the costume changes, though. I appreciate at least putting the effort into it. A lot of people don't put in effort. I put in a lot of effort into this show. You guys don't even realize how much effort I actually put into this show. No one does, because it doesn't look very professional. I understand that. Okay, and I don't, if you could just, take it easy on me. Can anybody just take it easy on me? No, apparently not, because for some reason, everything has to fall on my fucking shoulders.
Outlet says, meet Zorhan Memdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see,
not listening to
very
your live
different
reads. How much do you think she makes? She probably makes pretty good money, right? 2.3 million subs. She probably, this is 1.8 million views, so, but I bet she doesn't work very hard. Let's see. Ooh, that might be a good one too. The trad wife epidemic. If we get through this, we'll hop into that one because I want to look at a little bit of her stuff. 3.8, 1.8, 2.3. Well, she doesn't make tons of videos, but she does very well. So good for her. Good for her. I'm happy for her.
Story. For example, this story about
she rakes it in. Yeah, I bet she does. I bet she rakes it in.
Winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says Zorhan Memdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zorhan Memdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes. I have been using Ground News since 2021.
Oh, we're still doing
I think
this?
It is. Subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us.
Sometimes I watch the ads just to support a smaller creator. I mean, there's not much smaller creators than me. I understand that. But her, no. You've been around for a long time, and you're making millions of dollars. So I'm not going to, I would assume millions of dollars. I mean, she's definitely famous enough. But I could be wrong. I have no idea. I know people that have a lot of subs that make nothing. But she gets a lot of views, so I assume she's probably making a tidy sum.
Approach the news in a more fair and balanced way.
She has a top-notch producer and moderator. Is it some cuck? Is it some cuck guy that's just like, I'm a moderator and I will defend the lady? Because I would completely see that being the case, right? That's like, just, would love to smell her ass. And I mean, I bet it smells all right, but he's not going to be able to just because he's a mod,
So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring.
No one wants to smell my ass. And I'm not asking anybody to, right? It's really not that great. I'm not going to lie. It's not that great. And I just lost my fucking ads.
Video. And thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now
Yes, a
let's
king
get back
simp.
to the video.
Yeah, probably.
With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting.
What do you expect? What do you expect? You think Kamala Harris is really pulling a lot of the young male, or the male demographic? Well, who's that the Harry Sisson guy? Sisson? And he is definitely paid by the DNC. There is absolutely no doubt about that. In my mind, I have seen people on Twitter say, no, he's just really active in politics. Is he? And he's not getting paid by anybody. Not by maybe sponsors. Okay, so who is that? Soros? It's the DNC. It's very clearly the DNC. Because, I mean, I bet he doesn't give a shit about politics. I can't say I do, right? I can't say I do. I mean, it's all fake anyway. That's why I don't vote. Fuck that. Fuck that noise. I'm not going to take time out of my day to put a piece of paper in a box and then grin at people as they grin at me like I'm doing my fucking civic duty. Shut up. This is a goddamn waste of time. You know, if it actually changed anything, they wouldn't let us do it. The only vote that counts is a fucking bullet.
Voting for Trump. And
It
that is
is
correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump.
This is a problem too. Well, here's the thing. Here's the problem with the 19th. Once you made the 19th Amendment and ratified it and all that garbage, you automatically gave control of the country over to women. And women don't know anything. They don't know a goddamn thing. They have no reasonable thought in their head. There's nothing going on there that's valuable to society. And it's not going to help. When women vote, that could drag men into war, drag men into a draft, and then they don't have to be drafted, right? A fucking war comes out and they fucking curl their hair and hop in the kitchen and start baking pies and shit like that. They have no accountability whatsoever. So this is why voting is pointless. It's absolutely fucking pointless. Either we're going to war or we're not. I mean, but there's nothing men can do about that. It's a bunch of TV commercials, and women are extremely susceptible to TV commercials. And again, no accountability whatsoever, right? It's not them going to be on the front line. So they're all like, yeah, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for, I'm with her. I'm with her. Like it me. Why? So you can fucking scramble your baby's brains, make him into a baby smoothie, and then chug him down with some nice Plan B? I don't know what you're going to drink it with, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. We should get rid of that fucking 19th Amendment. And, everything else that happened in the 20s, too. Right back to 1913 when the Federal Reserve was created. Let's just cut all that out. Right when the country really started to take a fucking nosedive, we just cut all that shit out. Who says we can't? Who says we can't do that? It's our country now, right? As soon as the boomers start croaking, which is happening faster and faster, we just lost the Hulkster. Ozzy the week before that, or a couple of days before that, and then a couple of Chuck Mangione. He's less famous, I'll give you that, but I mean, he died too. But that's just the famous ones. We're losing boomers hand over fist. And this is just going to keep accelerating because old Squirty back in 21, That's what I think. But I don't want to be banned for medical misinformation, so I'm not going to say too much about that. What is Old Scorty? I have no idea.
Trump in droves on election day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts.
So Monkey says all of those store-poked boomers. Yep. Oh, because they just didn't want to die. Oh, we had such a good life, we're going to cling to it. We're just going to cling to it because we don't want to be dragged off into the infinite darkness. I get that. You had a sweet-ass life. Doing blow in fucking clubs in the 80s. Making money hand over fist for essentially doing nothing. Like, I'm not saying you didn't work, but come on. Easy street. Absolute easy street. Great, you worked yourself up from nothing. You pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. You pulled yourself up by our fucking bootstraps. You're all like, don't worry, our kids will pay for this. Now we're $30 trillion in debt. And now they're like, oh, why can't you afford a house? Well, they're $500,000. And fucking, minimum wage is not $500,000. How about that? Right? The equivalent, your minimum wage, equivalent at the time, is like $200 an hour today. Do you realize that? Yeah, if I was making $200 an hour, I'd probably be able to afford a house. Pretty easily. But it's not like that, is it? No. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. How about you pay back your $30 trillion? I didn't get shit from that. I paid for a party I didn't even get to fucking attend. And I, as well as everybody else, including the poor fucking Zoomers, what are you going to do? I don't even know about Generation Alpha. It'll probably all collapse by then, and then we'll have like a real post-apocalyptic type of society. Not this kind of like will they, won't they kind of bullshit that we're in right now. It's all like, oh, will society collapse? I don't know, kinda. We're just going to be weak and drag ourselves through the mud for several decades. Yay! Fucking burn it all down. Just do a hard reset. I can do a decade. I could do a solid decade of just eating fucking ramen noodles and being poor as shit. I can handle that if we just start over. All right? I'm not going to do this my entire life where you're just scraping by and it's just each fucking year it gets harder and harder just to eke out something. You know how terrified of my air conditioning breaking I am? Especially in Florida during a heat wave. I'm pretty fucking terrified of that. I'm sick of that shit.
With donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men.
Pomanki says, I'm paying for the school that I'm too old to use. It's way better than the shitty schools I grew up in. That's fair, right? And property taxes should be abolished. I know they're doing it in Florida, or they plan on doing something very like that in Florida. It's just, you don't own something if they're all like, hey, you owe us for this thing you own. I didn't agree to that. I didn't buy a condo, did I? No, I bought land. I bought land with a house on that. I didn't assume I'd have to be paying for the rest of my life. Oh, and it goes up? It goes up forever. It never gets cheaper. It's just always more. Okay, so one day I will lose this no matter what. Yeah, okay. So I don't own it then. Nah. No, you don't own shit. But aren't you happy? You don't own shit. Doesn't that make you happy?
To return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename SAM, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and veracity.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So the Democrats were like, we're paying millions of dollars to learn how to speak to young men. You say the N-word on the Xbox chat rooms. That's how you do it. I can do it. I can say the N-word. But then everyone gets all uncomfortable when I start talking. So, what? You want to talk the way you want to talk, but you also want to communicate with... Yeah, it's not going to work like that. You could have paid me $5 million, and I would have shouted, I would have screamed the N-word into the loudspeaker at a Costco. No, 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 no. And people would have crowded around me and be like, let's see what this guy has to say. Boom, done. It would have been easy for me. Easy.
In these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like...
So the new Call of Duty is going to have an ad for Kamala Harris where she drafted a bunch of young men into a useless war where people are dying and blowing up and you see your best friend's head explode. And she's going to be there cackling with a glass of wine. I think it's going to hit the mark. Like
exotic animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here is the young man in his natural habitat, in a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew.
My cave doesn't look like that at all. I got some guitars. I got a lot of body armor. Not like the cologne, but like actual medieval. I have different types of body armor. There's a drone. I have guns. I have a gun. I don't have any Taco Bell wrappers. I should start getting some Taco Bell wrappers. It's just like I don't love diarrhea. It's not my fave thing to, have because I like to do other things besides prolap my anus on the toilet. But I'm down to redecorate. I'll put a Gordita Crunch wrapper on my wall, right? And I won't even like tape it up or nail it up. I'll just lick it and smack it against there, right? That'll look good. That'll be nice.
Bottles. Here is another young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a dark cave.
Dude, what the fuck is up with this guy? What is this guy's name? Dream? No, he's not Dream. Who is this guy? This is the skinny guy on the beach, right? The skinny, the no muscle guy on the beach, right? That's him. What is that guy's deal? What does he do? Destiny, it says right there. What is he? Does he do the same thing as me? Only gayer? And kudos, sir. Because I thought I had a corner on the gay market. But you seem to fucking lock that shit up pretty good. So, congratulations. The blue hair makes me want to punch you right in the face. Right in the goddamn face. And I would win. Easily. I'd stomp on your neck. That's a joke. I'm not actually threatening anybody.
This one has dyed his hair blue to scare
Alex
off
says, dude, you said some horny cracked up bi bitch's snatch was frothy during Wave. I was dying. Oh, good. Yeah. Thanks for coming, Alex. Yes. Yeah. She was disgusting.
Potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another young man. We think we're not quite sure about this one. We're still studying.
That's just another one of Virgie's channels. That's just Virgie's bullshit. I don't know why he does that. I mean, I've seen Virgie. I've seen pictures of Virgie. He doesn't look like how you'd think Virgie looks. He doesn't look like Virgie. In my head, Virgie looked like a different person. But you seeing him, he kind of looks like, I don't know. He seems like the bassist for like a Jimmy Buffett cover band that is not successful and plays at bars a lot. And he's got like a long black ponytail and it's pretty funny. So, I mean, he's just not exactly what... So, yeah. Okay, I get the avatars. This is not an avatar. This is me. This is, I mean, I can hold things and stuff. I am not AI. I could say the N-word. I could say it. To prove I'm not an AI, I could say the N-word. And I could say all kinds of slurs. I can't on YouTube, but if they kick me, oof, the slurs are going to fly. The slurs are gonna
Democrats,
fly.
instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid, maybe you should I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comments.
You don't fucking listen. You don't listen to men. You don't listen to shit. You read the comments with your own assertions already in your head, and then you look for things that back up those assertions. You don't lie to me. You don't lie to me.
Let's see here. Shoe on head is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th.
Okay, I agree with that one. I don't know shoe on head, but yeah.
Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh.
Based as fuck.
Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, 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 mommy, mommy, mommy. One
Not something I'd say, but I get it.
time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle.
Who hasn't that happened to? Oh, he said bottle.
Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last week.
Oh my God. You know what? I should do an episode where we just watch The View. Like whole episodes of The View. I might get popped on YouTube. I'm actually pretty sure I will, but it's worth it. I mean, like the people who watch on YouTube, you understand I'm on Rumble, so you can come, or you can watch me on fucking Twitter. But I would love to watch whole episodes of The View and just seethe with rage and anger. And they'd probably enjoy that. And honestly, I'd enjoy that too. I don't like Joy Behar. I don't know much about her. I don't like her voice and her face. And that's all I really... Is there more to women than that? I don't think so.
Election. Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's
Which is nothing. And it's probably money laundering anyway.
a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's...
Okay, well, maybe you should teach women not to do things that make men so sexist. Would that be a better idea? Because women can't just get away with everything and then, men be like, oh, shit, they're all like this. Yeah, they're all like that. Oh, they're all fucking like that. They're all like that. Yep. They're all fucking like that. Yep. Yes. And so, yeah, it's going to make men a little sexist, right? Maybe teach women not to do that. It seems like it would be cheaper, right? It seems like it would be more cost effective, but I don't expect them to understand economics or social stability. Nope. They're probably a couple bottles deep white wine anyway, so it's not worth talking about really.
The stats don't bear that out now. Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Men's fault. It's men's fault. It's always men's fault. It's never going to be their fault. It's never going to be their fault. Never in the history of time has it ever been a woman's fault. It doesn't matter if their project fails or okay, you guys remember the Ghostbusters movie? The bad one, the one with the girls. That was just, I didn't watch it, but apparently it was pretty bad. What did they blame that on? Immediately. Sexism. It was men's fault for being bigots and not understanding the true comedy behind a big fat black woman screaming about ghosts. Right? I could watch Cops if I wanted to see that. And it would be a lot funnier. Not ruining a beloved cult classic just so you can fucking ride on some nostalgia wave and then piss all over it. People didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate that. Did you guys appreciate that? No. No, you didn't.
Oh no.
Geralt says the social contract is easily dumpstered. Women like those on The View either ignore or are unaware of that. They're unaware. They're simply unaware. They have no idea that they have an end of a contract that they have to uphold. They just think they run society and everything good. They're just like the blacks. They're just like black people. We invented everything, and society would crumble without us. And women, unlike the blacks, are kind of right about this, because there's no reason men would buy a Ferrari if women didn't really exist. Right? What are you going to impress your bros with a Ferrari? No. No one's going to give a fuck. I'm going to live in a box. You know? Live in a fucking box. It's going to have a TV on the wall. I'm going to play games and shit like that. So in that way, I think we might all live in peace, for sure. Now, if there was no men and it was just women, they might live 3 days. 3 or 4 days before they die of thirst. Yeah, probably. 3 or 4 days.
Oh, the very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else—
Am I live again? Does it say I'm live? Because there's only fucking 13 people.
Better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos. Hold on one second. 3 stupid blonde bimbos. Sorry.
That was impressive. Is that a wig?
I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel.
What is with those white monsters? Are they good? My brother's addicted to them. He buys them by the case. I've never tried one. Are they good? I see a lot of big fans of the white monster.
See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you this.
Why are you blaming them? Oh, because this is Fox News. And only boomers watch Fox News. And CNN, by the way. And all those yeah, of course. The boomers are never going... The boomers are women. They are... Even the men are women. They are just a generation of women. They'll never accept any sort of responsibility for anything they've done. They'll only say, we're great. We're the hardest working geniuses in history. And they're the dumbest people ever. They're the dumbest, most gullible people ever in the history of time. This is a fact. There's no way. They're just like, no, we're just the richest ever because we're all smart and hard. You're fucking retarded. You got to be absolutely kidding me. There's no way you absolutely... But they do. Indeed, they do. And they harbor it. They internalize it, and they just hoard their piles of gold, which is actually our money. And they continue to get checks from us, from like Social Security. It takes out of your Taco Bell fucking work. They send it to them. They already have millions of dollars, and they're getting little bits of ours. Geniuses, absolute geniuses. And they're like, well, we paid into that. Well, that's not how Ponzi schemes work. That's not at all how Ponzi schemes work. And it's a Ponzi. You think I'm ever going to see a dime of Social Security? Not in my life. Not in my life. And neither are any of you, right? Is Scott here? Maybe Scott will. He's pretty old.
This is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting...
Renee says my mom drinks the original ones and drinks it like water. The Monsters, I have tried the original ones, and they're pure sugar. They're pure, like it's half a can of sugar. You might like drink wine. Just drink wine instead.
married and having children, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at
It
what
is women's fault, though.
young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim.
Okay, maybe they're right. But what do you really expect? You take away every ounce of opportunity from all men under the age of who were born after 1980, honestly. And now you're all like, oh, women can't find a good guy. They're out there. They're just not making the money that you would want them to make. And they're like, well, women are making money. Well, yeah, because laws were instated that forced companies to hire women for quotas, So it's DEI. And they do make good money, right? But they don't do anything. They're not useful in any way, but they do make a quota, right? Legally, you have to hire them. If you have a certain company, a certain size, half of your employees have to be women. This gets very difficult if you work in like sanitation or something like that. And so you have to make things like HR departments, which were not a thing. HR departments were not a thing before these kind of DEI programs started to roll out. And they're like, well, we need to put them somewhere, right? We can all put them in one room where they just bitch about other people, right? And they just talk, and we'll call it human resources. We'll have a few secretaries, right? The cute ones, we'll make them secretaries. They can answer the phones and type out shit. We can do that. Or if you're a pharmaceutical company, you can have farm reps, right? That basically just suck doctor dick so they can sell pills, which is a pretty good scheme. That is a good scheme. They probably pull in some pretty good money. So besides them, they're basically, but those are just prostitutes. We've had prostitutes forever. For absolutely forever. Forever.
Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society.
It's why it's not because a woman goes to fucking college until she's like 28, 29, 30 sometimes, racks up $200,000 in debt, and then she decides she wants a family, even though she's not even making enough money to pay off her student bills. Right? And so she's like, I'm in so much debt, and I don't want to go to work. Even though the work you can get hired at, honestly, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You get paid 6 figures to fucking tweet, right? You just go on your phone and be like, and talk shit about other people. That's all you have to do. It's not like you're cleaning out fucking sewers. You're not going up on helicopters fixing power lines, right? You're not riding around on the back of a garbage truck, dumping cans of broken glass into a fucking stinky bin all day. You're not doing anything like that. No, you sit in a comfy office drinking Starbucks and eating like cookies and pizzas and shit like that. And you're like, this is so hard. What am I going to do with my 6 fucking figures? Why can't I find a man? Why can't I find a man? Buried in debt. Buried in debt because women aren't good at financial decisions. Never have been.
Get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can
It's a funny joke,
men.
though.
Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win.
Stay-at-home son is a funny joke. I didn't know it was that whole Jeopardy thing, but it was one toss-away joke that a guy made, and they turned it into an entire thing. So kudos to that guy. I don't know his name. I wish I did, because he should get credit for making a pretty funny joke. But no, they just use it as ammo, right, to feed the boomers, because these legacy media outlets, they're struggling. They're dying. Honestly, Because you ever see a boomer go on Twitter? They get eaten alive. They get eaten alive. And they don't want to actually have to think about the ramifications of their lifetime, and they don't want to have to argue that. They just want to be spoon-fed ideas they already agree with. The Gen Zs are just lazy. The Gen Zs are just retarded. They're all, and that's why they're not being successful. We didn't ruin the country. It's them. It's them doing it. Oh, good. I guess I'll just hop in my Maserati and go drive to my fucking yacht. Oh, but I don't have any fucking children to enjoy any of this with. So I just live at the top of a fucking hill in a gigantic house like a goddamn vampire. That's what it is. You just live like a goddamn vampire in a big ass house at the top of a hill where it's empty all the time. I can't imagine a sadder life. I cannot. But it's true. For boomer after boomer after boomer after boomer, right? They're all like, oh, we're so rich because we worked all our lives. We worked so hard ever since we were 15. Well, yeah, you worked a summer job and bought a house. Suck my dick. Suck my fucking dick. You were able to collect cans and pay your rent? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking joking me? And now you're pissing on people that can't, will never have the opportunity to have any sort of stability in their life. Ever. And you blame them? And you're pissed off about their lattes and their avocado toast and their Funko Pops? Well, I hate Funko Pops, but besides that, right? Sometimes people just want a little bit of joy in their life. If you can't afford a house, why not piss away thousands of dollars on a nice gun or something like that? Just something. You're never going to be able to save enough money to actually establish yourself and have a wife and have kids. If you could, then you would. Right? It has nothing to do with laziness. There's this entire NEAT movement, right? Where people are just saying, fuck it. And I get it 100%, where they're just like hitting their mom up for DoorDash and sitting in bed until 3 p.m. and then maybe they'll go out and get high or get not even drunk. They might get high, but they're probably just going to go on the internet and, I don't know, do whatever they do on the internet. I don't know. There's no opportunity. Even Liz, whatever his fucking name is, on Daywave, he's got to be a day trader. He's got to be a day. You don't think? I mean, he's Gen Z, right? You don't think if he can go out and like actually make a living doing anything out there, you don't think that would be a better idea? I'm sure he makes something, but he's still living in his fucking mom's house, so it's not that great. He's probably kicking around some money. I think he's got like 6 figures to play with. That is not enough for a house. Maybe a down payment, but then where's the rest of the money coming from? See? Doesn't matter if you can't pay a fucking mortgage. Hold on, I need to get another vape.
Been back, young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs. F*** you. Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too. Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy.
Hey,
they're financing it. Come on.
Yeah, the Klarna, the financing, DoorDash and shit like that, which is a bad idea because it still has compounding interest, right? It still has compounding interest, so you're going to be buried in debt from getting tacos like 10 years ago because you forgot to pay for it or something like that. That's how screwed people are. That's how fucking screwed. You need to like finance a pizza? That sucks. Like, getting it delivered costs twice as much too. Pizzas are not cheap, which is crazy. It's a crazy thing to say, because you remember Home Alone, where he orders like fucking 20 pizzas and it's like $130 or something like that. I'm like, it's like $10 a pizza. It's amazing. I wish I could live in that era where it's just nothing but optimism and, we took down the commies. We took down the Russians, the Berlin Wall fell. Everything is looking good for us and everything's on the up and money's just falling out of the fucking sky. You can cook up any scheme and it was going to make you a mint. But even if it didn't matter because a pizza was $10 goddamn dollars. Now you can't do that. Now if you even try to you better have a lot of money in the fucking bank before you even try to start something. A lot of money in the fucking bank. Right? Because most startups fail. And back then, you could just throw shit at the wall and see because it doesn't matter. You're almost living for free as it is, right? It's okay because you go get a summer job working at like In-N-Out, and then, hey, how about that? You're set for the rest of the year. There you go, right? You pay off your car, you pay off rent and stuff like that, and then you could go and start your own like startup or something like that. And they're like, oh, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. Ooh.
Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And
I want to live in your basement.
Why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites?
Knobs Dog says both my boys are still living with us, saving for houses. How old are your boys?
As a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen, I know the
Well, Knob,
age of
at least they have that. At least they can live with you and look, if my kids never want to move out of my house, I'm fine with that. I had kids so I could hang out with my kids, right? If they want to live here for the rest of their lives, fuck, I'll build them a house on my property. It's a good piece of land. I'll just build them a tiny house and be like, there, you can live there for the rest of your life, and then you're good. Raise a family there. That's fine with me, right? But a lot of boomers are like, oh, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, so you can do the same too, and then kick their kid out at 18, and they eventually have to turn to prostitution or drug dealing because it's not the fucking same. It's not the same. They don't understand that. They don't understand that.
Viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you need to pander to them. But Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking like this?
Knobstock says 19 and 21. Okay, so they're going to be living with you for a while. How much do you need to save for a house? $80,000? I don't know.
Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip.
Knob says one's an electrician apprenticeship and the other has been working in corporate position for 30 years. Okay, so it sounds like they have decent jobs. So they might be able to get out of there by the time they're 25, which is actually pretty decent. Yeah, that's actually pretty decent. That ain't bad at all. I mean, that's a lot better than most people.
Filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like...
Nom says, my oldest jokes he's gonna buy an Amazon tiny house for the backyard. I'd be fine with that. Dude, I'd be fucking fine with that. That's exactly what I'd be, I might do that for my kids because, like, some of those tiny houses ain't bad. And, like, land is pretty fucking expensive, right? Land is pretty expensive. And I'm not saying wood is not expensive. Everything's expensive, right? But I'd be fine with that too. I'd be like, fine, just go ahead and fucking set it up back there. You're good to go. That's fine. That's fine by me. I'm totally okay with that.
$5 for a fucking house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers. They are lovely.
Background noise says, I don't know why most people don't do that. I did and inherit a 112-year-old home from a grandparent. 112? Wow, that is an antique. Well, people used to do it. If you go back to the ye old country, like in Italy or something like that, they have several generations living in the same house. They have a much slower lifestyle, right? But yeah, it was common all the way up until like the 40s. I don't know. Yeah, probably the 40s when like Roosevelt had the New Deal and they started building houses like mad, and you could buy a house for like $5,000 or something like that, which is like $60 a month, right? And sure, they got paid less, but as soon as they started making more, it was not a problem. Those same houses would be $250,000 easy today. They actually have houses like that just over here, right? And I think that some people are putting those up for sale. They were built in like the 50s, and they were like bungalows that sold for like $7,000-8,000, and now they're going for, I think they're going for about $350,000. So yeah.
People, a lot of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI generated.
I wonder if they're actually gonna, like, when people do get deported completely en masse, if it will actually make rent cheaper. You think it would be the case, but I don't know, because housing. See, what they need to do is like not make it illegal to build new houses. Where I live, there's a very strong push from a lot of very old people to slow the growth and limit production of like new housing, and they are very successful at this. And this just drives up their property value. But I own my house, so I'm not against it. I understand how that would be a real pain in the ass if, like, hey, we could build you a house and you can actually buy it for a reasonable amount, and then some old millionaire comes in, or actually a bevy of old millionaires come in and say, no, we want to keep our nice little beach town, right? And so now all the prices go up because more people want to move in to, like, I understand that. And I also hate those building projects too. They look ugly. They're all the same. I get it. I get it from both sides. But I do own a house.
Photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my God, I truly believe they do not understand how good.
Forrest Mommy says if they don't know chores at 13, you failed. What kid doesn't know fucking chores? Even rich kids know chores. I know this to be a fact.
Good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China.
Based. Honestly, that was a very base take. This is exactly what happened. The boomers basically hoard us all out. They wanted to be rich, and so they sold out their children. Did they do this completely full well knowing? Probably not. Because they only understand what they're told by the news and the media and what movies tell them. It is amazing how the boomers' personality was shaped by cinema and movies and stuff like that. Because even to this day, I swear to God, my parents quote movies. I swear to God. It's like, you got that from a goddamn movie. I can't remember which one, but I know that's from a movie. That is not authentic. That is not from you. That is from a movie. I know that for a fact. And this is across the board, too. It's all of them. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. I'm not even saying, oh, well, there's exceptions. No, it's all of them. All of them have been molded and morphed into this same kind of person. The same kind of dude or female. By the way, boomer women are the worst people on the planet. They're the most entitled, least responsible people on the planet. If some of you have like young kids and stuff, if you go and like talk to boomer grandparents, they don't give a fuck what their kids think about like raising or something. Like if their kids like, please don't give my child sugar, please don't do that, they'll be like, okay, I won't. And then they'll give a bunch of candy bars, and then they'll hide the evidence. I've seen this in person. They don't give a fuck, right? They don't give a hot fuck. No, they get to do what they want because they've always gotten to do what they want. Always. And it's not going to change. It's not going to change. How long do they have to live? I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20 years. Maybe 20 years? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But it doesn't matter at this point. Fine. Do what you want. Go ahead and piss away whatever you have left. Reverse mortgage everything you stole so you can have nice cruises and get like, I don't know, leather handbags and shit. You know, and just leave us in the fucking filth. Just give us the bird and then just die. That is the methodology. That is the way of thinking for boomers, right? They only live for themselves because that's the only way they ever lived. They've always been the center of attention.
Inherited the greatest economy known to man, and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it.
Knobsdog says, my mom does that shit, John. Pisses me off. With the movie quote? Oh, with not listening to how you want your children treated? Which one? I'm saying a lot of stuff, bro.
Wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young...
That's true. That's true. And it's not specifically because it is a money thing, right? It's very much a money thing. And it's also like, well, I mean, why? Why? If your parents didn't want to make a better world, they'll say they did. They will say they did until the fucking cows come home. Oh, I just wanted to make a better world for you. Well, you fucked that up, didn't you? You fucked that shit up royally. You failed miserably at that. You know, making a better world for your children implies not overrunning it with migrants, maintaining some sort of social structure, not destroying the the fiscal economy, right? And not making our dollars out of goddamn monopoly money, and actually making it so somebody could actually build a life in this country. Is that's what I would assume is making a better world for your children. But no, their idea of making a better world for their children was making themselves rich. Was making themselves as rich as possible while completely ignoring the fuck out of their own kids and be like, you can do it. Whatever. I did it. Money, 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 money. You can't even completely blame them because it has to be, it's just a generational flaw. It's something they've seen on the TV and they just think this is how it's supposed to be, right? This is how it's always been. And no, it hasn't been like that in any capacity. No, you're just a completely self-centered and selfish generation. It's not Gen Z being lazy or not wanting to like start families or like millennials being gay and shit and like, I don't know. A lot of millennials are gay, don't get me wrong. A lot of them are, I can't say it on YouTube, but very gay, which is useless. And I mean, it is degeneracy. That is 100% degeneracy. It is not about love. It's not love is love. It's just butt fucking. That's all it is. It's just nailing dude ass. There's nothing positive about that. And you deserve to get AIDS. Yeah. You deserve to die from it. But, I mean, technology, you won't be dying. But you do deserve to get AIDS.
Young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So
Forrest Mommy says the boomer women going back to work started the next round of feminist retards. Yeah. Yes, this is a fact. And really, feminism didn't really become so much a problem until the boomers, you know, dropped acid and were getting fucked in the mud at Woodstock, right? Then it really started to become a problem. The first wave feminism and, you know, where it's like, oh, we want to be able to vote and stuff like that. That was a huge problem. Don't get me wrong. But, like, people were like, okay, maybe this won't be such a bad thing. It was. It turned into a very bad thing. It ate the country alive. So hopefully in this next generation, not mine, unfortunately, but the next generation, they will make sure women can't do that anymore. Ever again, preferably. Because it has been nothing but a problem.
but they're becoming lazy because they act more
Forrest Mommy says, shoe follows me, no big deal. Okay, that's pretty cool.
like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far...
The boomer women were part of the college loan problem too. Yeah, but see, the thing is, when boomer women were taking college loans out, it was all like, oh, you have to borrow $5,000. It's not even $5,000. It was like $1,000 or something like that for 4 years of college. So it wasn't even that much of an issue. And the reason why college is so expensive is because government got involved in backing loans for college students, right? And so colleges were like, well, we can now just charge whatever we want because essentially the government's paying for it. And the students are supposed to pay that back. And 18-year-olds don't understand like compounding interest. They don't understand how much money $250,000 actually is. It's a heap of money. I mean, if you gave me that kind of money when I was 18, I don't know. I might be okay with it. I might be, but most people, most women, most people, let's be honest, most people would not be able to handle that. I could.
white femboys, so...
No, Noel. Hey, dude. He says, I just watched Asmongold review this. Gold. Good topic. I'm sorry. It just breaks up your sentences like that. Did he do this? That's cool. Damn. He beat me to it.
Maybe. But here's
No, I watch Asmongold sometimes. He's pretty watchable. He's got good takes.
thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact f***ing opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows that
I started a family. I did that. And it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. And people think you're fucking crazy, right? I mean, when I married Jess, people thought I was fucking crazy. Maybe I was. I'm not saying I wasn't. But we did it. We did it. We got 2 now. We're looking to get a 3rd soon. So, I mean, like, you know, we're doing it. We're out here doing it. It is not the easiest thing on the planet. I'll give you that. It is pretty fucking expensive. I will give you that too. Yep, that's it. But I did it. I'm doing it. I'm here. I'm raising my kids. They love me. They say, hey, daddy, yeah, all that. I'm doing it.
The same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance. But among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their...
Be sluts. Be sluts. Be sluts. Be sluts. Be sluts. Be whores. Right? A man's like, oh, I can't afford it and stuff like that. And the women are like, well, I just haven't taken enough dicks yet. I haven't traveled to Greece and gotten my back blown out by Stavio. Oh no. Oh no. I haven't gotten railed in every continent on the planet yet. And that's part of my goals. Because I grew up watching Sex and the City or some other abomination that fucking guides little girls into being absolute holes for rent. And here we are. Yeah. It's a shame. It is a damn shame. And a lot of people, a lot of women will go on into their older years without it. And it's just, it's a shame.
personal independence. Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will...
This is true. We all went to high school, and every health class, you're going to ruin your life if you have a kid. If you have a kid, if you start a family, that is the worst thing. That's the worst decision you can possibly make. Even my mother-in-law is a teacher, and she tells her kids that the worst thing you could possibly do is have a fucking, and then she's like chomping at the bit for fucking grandkids. I'm like, why are you ruining it for everybody else? She's a public school teacher. She don't know any better. She don't fucking know any better. This is just what she's taught how to taught. This is what she's taught to teach, right? Depopulation. And now everyone's all like, oh, we don't have enough people to replace our population. Better bring in 1 million Indians. Better bring in 1 million fucking Indians that grope and grab chicks whenever they want because, oh, it's a cultural difference. Oh, I thought it was cool. I thought all these Americans were sluts and stuff like that, which is kind of true. Our culture has been ruined. Ruined. It's going to take a while to get back. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's not going to happen because it is. It has to. It has to. Otherwise, we're just going to go straight up extinct as a species. But hey, that's also on the table. This whole thing with fucking AI and stuff like that, a lot of people are saying, well, you know what? This is going to drive us extinct. Okay. What do you want me to say to that? Oh, no? You think it's going to stop anyone from building this basic genie? That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fucking genie. You ask it to do things, and it'll just do it with more intelligence than any human has ever had, ever. You think you're going to stop people from doing that just because it might drive us to extinction? Might? No. You know what also might have driven us to extinction is creating the atomic bomb. They didn't know if it was going to cause a chain reaction that set the atmosphere on fire. But they're all like, fuck it, grip it and rip it. Boom. They did it. They did it anyway. And the first time it went off, they're all like, okay. All right, let's see if we can make it bigger. You got to love humans, man. You got to love humans. We're going to keep doing that until it actually does end us all. Is this going to be the time? No, I don't think so. But what am I going to do? Say, yes, I think so, and be like, okay, we have 5 years to live. And I don't want to do that.
Will be ruined. They'll never have fun again. They'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea...
How many does she have? 1, 2, 3, 4? 1. She looks good. She looks great. Good for you, Shu.
That men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive.
Nope. No! False. I guarantee you that's false. Because you're not that pretty. But also, besides that, I have seen so many bitches say all my friends are attractive. And then I see her gaggle of trolls. And I'm all like, these are the ones you're talking about? This one? That one's $250 minimum. That one's $250 minimum. She's like 4'11". How is that attractive? Oh, but she makes really good money. I don't give a fuck about that. Why would I give a fuck how much money? If anything, that is a drawback. Women don't understand this. Women are like, oh, she makes really good money. She's really successful. You know, she's a doctor. Oh, well, then I'll stay away from her. Because that's gross. Making a lot of money does not make you more attractive as a female. This is a fact. Well, to me, and I assume to the rest of men too, it's not attractive. Ew. Right? I would rather some bitch that works at Taco Bell, a big booty Latina that works at Taco Bell, or a cute Midwestern chick that works at like Starbucks or something, than some fucking uppity doctor who's all like, well, actually. You know, I don't need that. I don't need that kind of shit in my life. You know, if I want to be well actually, I'd ask Grok. And he'll lie to my ass too. So there's really not much of a difference. At least Grok will be correct once in a while. I mean, you're just going to get mad and then angry and then mad. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. And all her friends are not attractive. Going back to my main point, they're not. I would bet so much fucking money. Because Jess does the same thing. She's all like, oh yeah, she's cute. She's not cute. She's not pretty. She's not attractive. She's gross. Women look out for each other. They stick up for each other. They have very strong in-group preference, which I respect. Honestly, I do. But then on the other hand, they kind of sabotage each other a lot too. They're all over the place.
All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on.
But let's all sing it together. But
almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if
oh, they must not be all that attractive. They must not be, well, maybe they're successful. I don't give a fuck about that, though. But they're probably not that attractive. Or they're goddamn cunts. You ever think about that? No, because then you'd have to do some introspection and like look in the mirror and be like, am I a bad person? Am I in the wrong? Yes, you are a bad person. You are in the wrong. If you can admit that ever, you will be ahead of the game. You will be so far ahead of the game. You won't even believe it, dude, because 99% of women will never accept that they've ever done anything wrong, ever. Even if their life is an absolute dumpster fire. You know, 4 mixed race kids and living off of the fucking government or something like that, and everything is just trashed, and she'll be like, well, this is clearly men's fault. It can't be me. Men are just bad. You ever think it's just you making bad decisions over and over and over and over again? You ever think about that? No! You haven't. Have you? Never. Never. My God, imagine how good your life could be if even a tenth of the time you said, hey, you know what? Maybe I can change my behavior and then next time this won't happen to me. If you just did that 10% of the time, you would have a nominally good standard of living, but you don't. You never do. They never do. They never do. Never. And you see it time after time after time after time. And what are you going to do? You're just going to sit there and you're going to cross your arms and just get more and more sexist. Because that's what you can do. Right? You can't tell them they're not doing something right because they're not going to believe you. You're just a sexist man. Well, no fucking shit. No fucking shit. No, go back to your fucking, your hog pack. What does a pack of hogs called? I don't know. Brood? I don't know. Go back to them. Go back to them and make your poor decisions. And go around hating each other. Right? Oh, but we're all hot. We're all hot. Yeah, well, you all need to fucking shave your faces.
All of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles now.
I just fucking said it. I just fucking said it. I just fucking said it. Yep. That's what I get. I'm going to get the hat. Oh, it's not us. It's clearly the men folk. It's clearly the men folks' problem. Clearly. I want to hear some more words of wisdom out of this dumb bitch.
Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier.
And you know what's funny about that? So Walmart cashiers, by and large these days, are robots. And men would still probably marry them. Right? At least she does something. All you need to do is like engineer a fleshlight onto the fucking checkout machine. And then boom, you got a woman with a job. How about that? Lucky you. And guess what? She's not completely quiet. Every once in a while she'll go beep. Go beep. And then spit out a receipt. And there you go. She's satisfied. Smack her on the ass and send her to the kitchen.
She was nice to them.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point,
Yeah.
I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more! She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong...
The fuck is this in the middle? What is that? Is that a chick? Is that a chick? And I know this guy, this doucher right here. I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. I don't know who this chick is. Pierce Morgan is a fucking tool. He's a fucking tool. I don't know who the rest of them are. But, yeah, Pierce Morgan's a tool. I just wanted to make that super clear.
strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect...
Oh, because I'm going to make votes that are going to send your ass to war. Yeah, I'm going to vote you into war because I want to be able to scramble my baby's brains and then smear it on the wall because I like the shade of red. Oh, is that too fucking demonic for you? Too bad, because girl power, hear me roar. Don't you get fucking sick of it? Don't you absolutely? You're sitting there fucking digging out sewers all day long, and then you get home and your wife is all like, nah, I'm not cooking dinner. Now go get fucking drafted. Okay, can I clean the shit out of from under my fingernails first or something? Oh no, just straight. Okay, that's fine. Let me just strap on this grenade belt and just run at the enemy, right? That you caused! That you fucking caused! I didn't have a problem. You caused this. You did that. Why? Why? Just to see some bloodshed? She'll be fine. If you get blown up in the army, she might shed a tear or two. That's fine. But that's okay. She'll just marry the next guy. There's no problem. You're easily replaceable. And don't you get sick of that? So, and the people are like, why won't these young men go out and like start families? Have somebody else do it. If we're so fucking replaceable, have someone else do it. Huh? Yeah. And I'm not saying you aren't, right? Ship in a bunch of Indian guys and they'll fucking rape you. I can't say that. They'll get you good, right? And a big group of them. And then what are we going to do? We can't even help you. If you're drowning at the beach, we can't even pull you out and give you mouth to mouth without getting fucking sued. A lot of people are like these Gen Zs, these millennials. They're so lazy. Why don't they want to get out and fucking start a family and get a career and stuff like that? It's not that they're lazy. They're smart. They're doing the smartest thing they can to maintain their lives. What little bit of lives they have. They're just going to sit there, play their video games, smoke their pots, eat their Taco Bells, and just let it all fucking fly by because it is a dumpster fire out there. And I don't blame them one bit for not wanting to get involved. Fine, you do this, Piers Morgan, you have this panel of absolute homosexuals and talk about how lame men are and how it's destroying society and crushing the birth rate while just propagating the same fucking problems. The same fucking problems that caused it in the first place. Yeah, you do that. Your fucking ratings are crashing anyway. No one gives a shit about you.
Protect my family, make money, but I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector, and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before.
Who gives a fuck? You're just some bleach blonde whore. No one gives a fuck what you consider a real man. Why is it always down to a woman's opinion? Who gives a fuck about your opinion? Why do you think we care about your opinion? Right? Because the government does? That's wild. That is a wild thought. I don't care if you think I'm not a man. That means nothing. That means nothing. And it means nothing to these people either. Right? So go ahead. Oh, you're just not a man. And she crosses her arms and taps her foot. Like it's going to do something. You know what a real man would do? Fucking lay her out. That's what a real... Like a caveman? Do you want a caveman that just bashes you over the head and drags you to a cave? We could do that. You want to bring that kind of man? Do you? I could do that. I'm just saying. It doesn't matter about your opinion. Your opinion is worthless. Like it's always been throughout history.
Before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place.
I like how this is all Facebook. This is all Facebook. bunch of Facebook comments. Yeah, I mean, like that's Facebook. Facebook is the retirement home of the internet, right? What is the average age of people on Facebook? It's got to be in the high 60s. It's got to be in the high 60s because, like, I know people in their 90s on Facebook and they like their, oh, look, that's so nice. That's so nice. And then a bunch of fucking old boomers with their Minions meme think they're actually doing some social change on Facebook. No one uses Facebook. I don't use Facebook. No one uses Facebook. I'm not interested. No one uses. You have to be pretty fucking old to use Facebook. And Jess uses Facebook so she can show pictures to her fucking 100-year-old relatives. That's why she uses Facebook. That's the only reason she uses Facebook. And I guess we talk to friends on it, I guess. We use the Messenger. That's it. No one uses fucking Facebook. Knobstock says the average age of Facebook user is generally between 25 and 34. That's nonsense. That has to be, like, maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't fucking know. It's Boomer Book, though. That's what it is. It is the Florida of websites.
She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own,
Capitalized. Men.
found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes.
Oh, I do wonder why.
We know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest.
That's a fucking problem, right? You're pushing them into failure. It's not the same. It's not, yes, back in the 60s and the 70s, all the way up to even the 90s, right? You push an 18-year-old out of the house, they're going to be okay. They get a basic job. They can afford an apartment that's not in the hood. And even if it is the hood isn't as big as it is now, right? It doesn't encompass so much. It's not possible. And maybe if he gets 5 or 6 roommates, but then he's going to get stabbed in his sleep or something like that. You can't explain these. You can't explain it. They will not understand. They refuse to understand. They will never understand. Not until their dying breath. But after they pierce that veil, after they go through the inky blackness, then they'll understand. When they get the infinite knowledge from the Akashic records or whatever you want to fucking call it, then they'll understand every mistake they've ever made, and then that is the beginning of their journey to hell. In my opinion, I don't know.
Okay, I really gotta ask. Is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f*** would a
What is she, Italian? You Italian? You a cis? You and me?
man leave home, leave his mother's cooking for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me, though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
It's amazing to be that people don't think Italians are white. Then what are they? I was just in Rome. They look white to me. I don't. Are they Mexicans? What are they? I don't. What? I don't know. People are fucking stupid. They're like, if they're not from Sweden or Germany or England or Iceland, then they're not white people. Even Slavs aren't white people. I'm like, okay. That makes no sense, but okay. Whatever. Whatever. You do you. Okay? I'll happily live in Rome. Rome was nice. It was actually fairly clean. Italians don't think they're white. They're Goombas. Whatever. I am Italian. I consider myself Caucasian, and that is an accurate term. I don't see how that's not white at all. I I don't see how that's not white. What do you call it then? What do you call it? Do you just say Italians? Is Italian a race? It's not. It is not a race. It is. I don't see. I'm not going to get in this discussion. But if you think Italians are not white people and like Spanish aren't white people, I'm not saying there's not black people in Italy and Spain. There is. But there's. Never mind.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid, lazy.
Dan Snot says you're not from the Caucasus Mountains. You know where the Caucasus Mountains are? Do you know where the Caucasus Mountains are? They're in the Middle East, you dumb fuck. Did you know that?
Young men go get a job. Bullshit. Mike Johnson did it referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV.
They're in the Middle East. They probably extend to Russia, but they are in the Middle East.
Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy.
King Wall Pixel says Italian is a collection of stereotypes. Okay, I will give you that. But those stereotypes are not always correct. And trust me, I do hate some Italian stereotypes. Like the New Jersey people, I fucking hate those people. That is very specific. That's like Sicilians, though. I don't like Sicilians.
He has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I
Go
strap
down
up
to
a
the
job
jobby.
helmet?
Go to the job store.
And fire off into Jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies.
The term welfare
That's a good bit. Charlie Day is fucking hilarious.
queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic.
Yeah, the New Jersey Italians are the worst, right? But the New Jersey Italians are like Sicilians. I think like they're real dark. They're wops, dude. Those are like wops, like Dago. Like fucking Goomba Italians.
Go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's...
Fat Girl says, I don't like Italian stereotypes. John while doing that. I don't like Italian stereotypes.
especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk
Italy
for
sucks.
years.
Italy's lovely. You don't... Have you been there? Italy's great. I liked Italy. I went all around Italy.
About how Americans
I went to Sicily too. Sicily was nice.
Being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather—
King of All Pixels says I'm on a geopolitical level. I honestly don't know much about the geopolitics of Italy. I'm sure it's just like everywhere. I mean, come on, dude. Like, any European country has shit for fucking politics these days. Like, what, you think France is good? You think England's knocking it out of the park? Even Ireland, dude. Ireland is like the front runner for like not putting up with this bullshit, and they still kind of suck. Right? So, I mean, politicians are not for the people. They made this abundantly clear. Over and over again. I think Italy's prime minister just signed a grant or something like that for 500,000 Africans to come in to Italy. So 500,000 migrant visas from 500,000. Italy doesn't have young people in it. When I went, we were with like kids and my nieces and stuff and nephews and shit. And like people are like oohing and awing because they don't see children. They don't fucking see. Everyone's 100 years old over there. It's sad. And now they're going to ship in a bunch of black people and a bunch of Indians, and everyone's going to get stabbed to death. Is that racist of me? Yes. I am very racist. I think I can be racist because I'm Italian. All right? So, unlike you Anglo cucks, I get to say whatever the fuck I want because people aren't exactly sure of my race. They're like, I don't know. Go fuck yourselves.
Rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Forrest Mommy says I'm a Chicago Italian. Those are pretty bad too.
Open borders.
Those are pretty bad
too.
too.
Proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot
of
the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken.
He became a millionaire, and now he started talking about the billionaires. And eventually he'll become a billionaire, and then he'll start talking about the trillionaires. I need money because so I could start talking about the, I don't know, the quadrillionaires. I don't know. It goes on. Math. I'm not a math guy. I don't have a Frozen. I don't have a Frozen.
Are jobs traditionally held by men like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many...
King of All Pixels says Chicago Italians at least actually beat the fuck out of you if they say they will. A lot of Italians will do that. I don't know what Italian, like, maybe New Jersey Italians are a little bit more like bluster, but I mean, like, they'll still beat the fuck out of you. I feel like that's pretty common amongst Italians. They're not exactly the most peaceful people.
Examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that.
Well, yeah, you gotta hire women so they can fuck things up, because what are the men going to do unless fix a woman's problem?
Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders.
Indians.
On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend." So
boy, he's crashing out. That Elon Musk guy. He did a lot of stuff that I was behind, right? I mean, but he's kind of losing the plot. I don't know. He's going crazy. Everything's going to fucking shit. Everything's going to absolute shit. And like Trump's on that Epstein list. I guarantee you he had his nuts deep in a 14-year-old several times in his life. Several. Did Elon? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. But I mean, like, I don't know. Everything's going to fucking shit, man. The world's ending. The world has to be fucking ending. That's the only thing. Doesn't it seem like the world's ending? Do you guys think the world is ending? I kind of feel like it is, right? We got this whole thing with the AI coming in and the economy's collapsing. There's going to be a future with no jobs, basically. Oh, but it's going to make new jobs. Is it? Is it? It's not like the internet. It is not like the internet. Yeah, the internet made new jobs. I'm doing one right now, right? Job. But like there's DoorDash and all that other nonsense and shit like that. They asked ChatGPT what new jobs were there going to be. Oh, and he was like, oh, AI is going to make a bunch of new jobs. For instance, DoorDash. And then everyone's going to be a fucking DoorDasher? Is that until they would get replaced too? Right? By Amazon drones or something like that. Not everyone can be a DoorDasher, dude. And that's only going to be for maybe 5 years. Tops. And what are you going to do? You're going to pay off a house DoorDashing? Ubering people? It's not going to last, dude. There's going to be no jobs. And then we're going to have to redo the whole system and then do UBI or some bullshit like that. And I don't know if we can actually pull that off. I don't know if we're actually responsible enough as a society. There's a lot of people that should not exist. I'm just going to go ahead. There's a lot of welfare queens with like 11 kids that live off the government. And if you start giving them even more free money, there's just going to be a bunch of real low tier people out there. That's not good. That's not positive in any way. But this has all been planned for in advance. Everyone knew this was coming. Everyone knew this was coming. And there is going to be a gigantic war, and it's going to clean out a lot of them. Right? And anything that doesn't get taken care of by war gets taken care of by old Squirty back in 21. What is old Squirty? I don't know. I can't say it because I got banned. I got flagged for misinformation already. And I got a lot of that. I got a lot of misinformation. I'll misinform all day long because that's what I get to do as a fucking American.
When it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign
Arden Share says, I'm here, you got to start over. I missed the first 100 minutes. It was all nonsense babble anyway.
labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But
King of all pixels, that's Mr. Information to you. Well, at least they'll give, I mean, people will listen to Mr. Information. Misinformation just won't shut the fuck up.
Suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But
I would like to do that. That sounds fun. It, you know. I'm not blaming them. I'm not knocking that in the least bit. They're smart.
It's not just the brown people taking your jobs. I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not.
What allegations? Are they calling her racist? Me too, sis. I'm right here too. Me too. Mediterraneans. We can do that, apparently. Mediterranean people could do that. I could be as racist as I want. I mean, people get mad. But I also carry a fucking gun. So, you can't beat me. What are you going to do? Fire me? You can get me fired? Go ahead and fucking try. I fucking dare you. Go ahead and try.
Their fault. They're just cheaper.
You can't do it.
But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too. Many of the dying industries are...
Dan, am I familiar with Shoe on Head? I am aware of Shoe on Head. I'm not familiar with her.
Are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the
women jobs it's female babysitting. That's what it is. It's babysitting for women so they don't have children. That's exactly what female jobs are. That's why women are in the workforce. Also, if you do have children, they can go off to school where they get trained to be little communists, little transgendered communists, right? Perfect. And, but you can't have too many because you're just too busy working, doing nothing useful, working in your HR department, calling Susan a whore. And she is a whore. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Fire her then. What?
The role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about $1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings.
What happens after 30? What happens after 30? What happens after 30? Any guesses about what happens? Well, a lot of things happen. First of all, that old biological clock goes off. It should go ding, 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 ding. And they're like, oh, fuck me. I have to have a baby or else I'm going to get too old to have a baby. And she's 100% right. That's a real thing, right? It's not like a fallacy. Oh, women can have kids up in their 50s. No, they can't. No, I mean, they can. It has happened before, but it's not going to be a walk in the fucking park. There's going to be people involved, scientists and shit. But, like, it can happen. Also, women they lose their pretty. They lose their pretty. And most women make a lot of money because of their pretty, right? Bartenders, hostesses, even in an office setting, right? If you're prettier, more people are going to want to promote you because it's just nice to be around pretty women. But after that, they don't need you anymore. They don't need you. They don't want you. And so then with the conjunction of those things, converging, then they end up making less. Yeah, a lot of them continue working after that, and a lot of them can still make quite a bit of money. But not more money than a man.
At or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot.
Lots of retarded old sperm walking around. Not saying that's not true. I'm not saying that's not true at all. That is 100% true.
Lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic...
Lesing out, you mean? Getting and like eating box, right? What is with women? They're all like, well, the men here aren't good enough, so I'm going to get an even worse option, which is another woman. And there's no way there's not going to be any physical violence or disagreements when two women are in a relationship. That's silly. That's just silly.
Shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women.
Women most affected. God, you can't even get over yourselves. Like, seriously. Like, this is just like when Hillary Clinton, when war has always affected women the most. They lose their sons, their husbands, their fathers. Yeah, but the men fucking die. The men fucking die. How is that not affecting us? Like, seriously, you just easily replace us, right? I mean, it's not that hard. It's not going to be that tough. No one gives a shit about us. No one gives an absolute fuck about us. And, it shows, and a lot of men are just done with it, and fucking done. Tired of it. I'm fucking tired of being expendable. I'm fucking tired of being replaceable. I didn't vote for that shit. I didn't say that was a good idea or anything like that. No, everyone around me said, well, you're a man, So you have to lift heavy things, and if you don't do what we say, we're going to kill you and replace you. Because there's literally millions of men, and women are the important one. We're the ones that matter. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to vote and have you killed. And we're going to vote and make ourselves rich. And then why don't any men make more money than us? Oh, I do wonder why. Why can't you form families? God, you're digging yourselves a hole. Do you understand this? No, you don't. You don't. You think you do, but you fucking don't. God damn. Idiots. The lot of them. Every fucking one of them. If you try to explain anything and then you're just being accused of being a mansplainer. No, I am an explainer. I am telling you literal facts and truths and trying to jam them into your thick fucking girl skull. And it's not going in. It's just getting pushed right through. And it comes out all sparkly and has shoes on it and stuff like that. Nothing is getting absorbed or anything like that. All you want is your stupid goddamn rights and your freedoms, right? With no responsibilities. You're supposed to be having kids. You're supposed to be making more people. This is what's going to make you happy. But for the love of God, you've watched too many, I don't know, The Hills or whatever girl show you watch, and it's polluted your opinions. And it just made you into this automaton, this absolutely useless hunk of cells that just walks around buying things and pisses and moans while doing nothing useful for anybody. Anyone. Our entire society is fucked specifically because of you.
Without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980.
Dan, stop. You know you know what? Bell isn't ringing. I'll give you 2 for that.
To research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree.
Yeah, and hit the like button if you guys wouldn't mind. If you guys hit the like button, or if you're on Twitter, hit the like button, or if you're on YouTube, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it.
Are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology.
Birth control. Yeah, that was a mistake. A lot of technology has been a mistake. But like allowing women to make their own opinions and stuff has been, it's always been a problem ever since the first people. Ever since the first woman came around and she made her very first decision. What was her very first decision? To eat that fucking apple. That was the first decision you made. The first decision you made was to disobey God, and you got us all killed. And nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. A lot of people are all like, oh, the Bible, these are all analogies and stuff like that. And that stuff didn't really happen. Maybe that's true. But I'll tell you what. The entire analogy of a woman making the first decision that kills everybody, that is right on the money. I mean, you cannot get any more accurate than that. So maybe it's not true. But fuck me, can you explain it better than that? That's fucking on the money, dude. Eve pissed God off, and she got everybody killed. That is a perfect analogy. That is a pitch perfect analogy.
And they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all. They can do anything. They can be anything. While at the same
Fat Girl says, and they piss it back into the water supply, which then affects men. Yeah, this is true. This is also true. Yeah, yep. It's true. There's a reason why, God, dude. There is too much estrogen in the food supply, the water supply, the environment. That's an entire another video. Same
time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
Yeah. You see, when you have 2 working adults what are they called? Dinks? Dual income, no kids. When you have two working adults in a household, there is the household money, which is the man's money, and then the woman's money, that's all her money. That's all her money. She gets to piss it away on bags and shoes and fucking, I don't know, whatever girls like to do. It's not shared. And if there's a divorce, all the man's money gets split in half. And rarely does the woman's money. It happens sometimes, but not usually.
As a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector.
As a woman. Well, whenever you hear that phrase, just block out. Just block out whatever, because the next thing is going to be the worst take you've ever heard in your entire life. The most foul opinion you've ever heard. It is not going to help you in any way. It's only going to make you mad. It's only going to make you dumber, in fact. So, don't listen to that shit. Don't listen to that shit at all. Anyways, fuck this. Is this the music we're going out on? All right, fine, whatever. Hell yeah. Thanks for coming to the Sulk stream, guys. Thanks for having me back. I'm sorry I'm sick, or I was sick and I missed Monday's show. But thank you so much for having me back, and I'm glad to be back with you guys. Thanks for letting me rant. Thanks for letting me get my angries out. I appreciate it very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And stay strong, stay good cultists, spread the word of the Sulk stream, go door to door talking about the Sulk stream. I would appreciate that. Remember to pay your tithe, buy a shirt, send a dono. I have a Ko-Fi, I have a PayPal. You can also donate on Rumble. You can super chat me on YouTube. These are all possibilities. Please dig deep, everybody. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good night. And I will be back right here on the same Sulk time and the same Sulk place tomorrow. Until then, again, be righteous to each other. Be cool. Be strong. Be faithful. Drink some water. Get a good night's sleep. And take care of yourselves because I care about you too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Black Ness Monster 2, government lies that